Okay. Okay, this is the second video of Esmay movies, starting this time almost early 1958. We will be repeating the last four on the first VCR we made because the projector got to jumping so badly that the the video didn't come out at all good. But then we'll go on from there.
Okay, here's Aunt Aggie playing with our babies. I think this was before they had any children. And be sure and watch out here the snowball fight and Grandpa John. See him there in the middle, limping along. And it gets a little hot for him, so he goes off to the side. There's Dad, Grandpa John. Watch it, John. You're in a precarious spot. Whoa! There he got it. Boy, limps off. Here's our Christmas dinner. I think you can identify everybody. Uncle Louie, Aggie, there's Grandpa John. Aggie looks a little different, doesn't she? There's Bambi. There's your father, Don. Must not have been room enough for everybody to sit at the table. Aggie had to sit on the couch. Oh, there's our little dimple darlings. This is what we call mirror image. I think we get a good shot of that. Don't ask me which twin that is. They are looking at each other and grinning. What innocence. I think that's Joni. I think that's Janie. A, B. You suppose they're talking to each other? They each had a jumper. One was yellow and one was red. As I remember, Joni was always the yellow one and Janie was in the red one. We got a lot of good use out of that. They were very good babies. I used to say that the two of them weren't as much trouble as one of the others. I won't mention which others. Joel was at the age where he combed his hair straight up in the front there. It was all greased down. Oh, there, I'm still trying to carry the babies while I can. Both of them at the same time. Up those stairs. Careful, Ma. Look at that waist. Oh, so we moved into it February 1st, 1958. The twins were 4 months old. certainly had more oaks in the front yard than we do now, because these trees retain their leaves. Now, all these maples we've planted lose everything and they look like skeletons. Oh, I guess it was a White House then, huh? There's the creek out behind. This is a view behind the house. We've had stone facing put on the front of the cement part by Nelson's since these pictures were taken. That loop in the creek is right directly below Lehman's. And we had our suet feeder in the backyard. There's our little cuties in a twin stroller. Now the strollers are one in front of the other one. Back in this day, they were side by side. You can't imagine how many times we'd have these two little twerps side by side, identical clothes, and somebody'd come up and say, "Are they twins?" Joel the clown. That's Brother Jerry. We tried to have Janie on the right and Joni on the left. Giddy up, horsey. There's Jerry Esmay. There's Bambi with one of the twins. We're back in Woonsocket now, and it's Easter. Grandpa has the other one. They were so proud of you girls. This is 1958. All dressed up to go to church. Oh, look at that hat. And that hat hangs up in the bedroom on display. Why would anyone keep that, huh? I just realized that's the same red coat that I wore when I was pregnant with those two. Man, I must have been, looked like a bloated fire plug. This is Grandma and Grandpa's house. Had a very comfortable home on the north side of Woonsocket. Julie holding the twin. We all had our Easter bonnets, even the twins. Oh, here we must be in Huron. Is that where Uncle Louie's coming? Who's coming? I don't know. Well, so the twins took over again. Why they got their money's worth out of those jumpers. Joni's in the yellow one. Janie's in the red, I think. Oh, hey, John's in there. Now we're trying to get them all. Where's Joel? Julie, John. One to go. Jay wasn't even a twinkle in his dad's eye. Ooh, there's old handsome brute. We must be back in Minnesota. Boy, you guys are dressed up. I think this is our trip to Como Park, to the zoo. I always said that there's Dad pushing his girls. Yep, that's in the zoo. That we drew more attention than the animals in the cages. Okay, what number do I put on this? Well, here's Joel and Julie dancing down in our basement before we had it finished off. You can see the cement block walls and the supporting pipes. I think that's a Charleston. Julie, bend your knees the other way. Julie always fell down just before a recital. Always had her knees scunned up. Never failed. I think these costumes were from a group. They were in a group together. There were several other kids. They were pretty good. And those are in the days when we didn't have tapes and I had to play for them. There's our little darlings. We always tried to have Joni on the left and Janie on the right. Not sure that's the way they are there. We moved into that house on February 1st, 1958. I don't know how old they are there, but they're not a year. They were born in September of 57. I had to try to carry them both while I still could. Carry them upstairs. Wow, I'd hate to try that now.
Where's that waist?
You bet. Look at that waist. Those are real posies, too. I finally gave up on real flowers. They kept dying, no sun. So we have artificial flowers. There's son Joel trying to get the twins to look at him. There we go. Should I be talking?
Yeah.
Zelda and Janice and Faye came to visit us in 1956. Some way we missed putting this tape way back in the year 1956, so we're inserting it now, 2 years later. We apparently were living in that rented house. Our house wasn't built. We must have gone swimming. Where? Oh, down on Highway 100 at Twin Lakes. We went down, had a picnic. The 3 girls and our family. This was before the twins were born. We lived down on 94th Avenue. There's Sister Zelda. You can tell Janice and Faye, I'm sure. John's sucking his thumb. We never noticed until we took these pictures that that front door was off-center on the gable. Having a parade. We're back in Coon Rapids at a parade in 1958. There's John with his military uniform. He's all dressed up in costume. A little large.
That's a Jenneke. That's the youngest Jenneke.
Oh, that's his girlfriend, Jackie Jenneke. All the kids in town were all out. There's our Julie in a dance costume. I think that's Jeannie Jenneke. Ah, right. There's our twins and their mommy. And the sign says, which twin has the Tony? Joel pushed the stroller and he was dressed as a Tony permanent box. And that was a slogan back in those days. They'd have 2 pictures of twins, and both of them had the same curly hair. The slogan was, which twin had the Tony? These little pipsqueaks had this little bitty pig's tail up on top with one little ribbon. I only got about 4 hairs. And you can see that it was barely tied with a little ribbon. By golly, they got first prize. I don't know who that is.
That's a donkey, actually. It's a mule.
Yeah, I believe it is. It is a mule. Have no idea. There's Julie Beth. Get in line, John. I don't know what he's carrying. The soldiers carry packages, I guess.
Oh, that's what's his name?
Harold Bartholow? Harold?
Yeah.
Harold Bartholow. He was fire chief then. Yeah. This was put on by the firemen's parade. He's the one that took me in the ambulance when the twins were born. There's a cute shot. Which twin has the Tony? And believe it or not, I had a woman come up to me and confidentially say, which one does? Would you tell me? I think that's Erlene there. Jerry. Uh-huh.
No, that's me. That's me there.
Zelda. There's a whole bunch of Esmays. Janice, Faye, there's Jerry. Or was that Don?
Janice looks like Jolie there.
Don thinks that Janice looks like Jolie. There's Zelda's convertible. She came up in that convertible. Oh, the kids had a ball. I remember when we'd open up that trunk, it would just spring open with all the girls' fluffy slips. Crinoline. Okay, it's 1958 yet. Zelda's still visiting us with the two girls. We're having a picnic at Lake George. There's Aunt Zelda with one of the girls. Have no idea which one it is. They're cute though. Looks like all we had that day was watermelon. I think that's Janice and Faye sprawled out on the grass. There's Joel sprawled out with them. John is trying to sprawl out, but his turns into roll 'em up, boy. Boy, Faye's hair wasn't blonde then, was it? Yes, Julie. Back at our house, you can see there's no stone facing on it. We're having a visit from, do you hear that? We're having a visit from the Robert Hayes in Munster, Indiana. They used to be people we knew when we lived in Munster.
It's Dora.
Oh.
Look, I want to be here to treat the phone.
Hello, Joel. John must have been having a bad day. Why don't you come here and talk?
Oh, well, I got a minute. Telephone just rang and Doris is on the phone, so I'll talk the rest of this picture. We're out at Draper. There's the Draper schoolhouse. Seen on the prairie at Draper. There's the elevators way down. This is out at Dad's place east of Draper, where he and Jerry lived after Mother passed away. These are taken from the south side of the farm, south of the buildings. The house and the garage and the barn, and there's our old green station wagon that we built a pen out of 2-4s and chicken wire inside for the twins to be in when we traveled. Laid the back seat down and put them in the pen. There's Dad's cattle, his herd of cattle at that time. White-faced Herefords. That's John waving at us. Probably a little bit shy of getting too close to those cattle. That was a nice herd of cattle Dad had. Oh, John got a little closer. There's our station wagon again. Looks like Mother's getting one of the twins out. And Julie, no idea where, well, there they both are.
This is still 1958, and it's harvest scenes out at Draper. That's Grandpa Ernie out on the combine, and there's Don climbing up on it. There was Grandpa John on the ground out there, too. A nice picture of Ernie. He's proud of that big old combine. There's Grandpa John. He's just itching to get out there and drive that combine. I can see it. See all that acres and acres of prairie. There's Don up there riding with his dad on the combine. Looks like they had a pretty good crop. Okay, here they are loading it into the truck. There's my dad, Grandpa John. Don't fall. Okay, is that Faye and Zelda with the girls? This is out at Ernie's place there east of town. I guess that's Janice. We think that looks like Jolie. There's John hanging out of our old green station wagon. Hi, Julie. There's Bambi. She was along, too. There's old Ma. I guess this is my birthday, 1958. Let me see. Whew! I was only 38 years old. Mammy and Grandpa did have a lot of fun with you kids. They had many good years with you, their grandchildren. My birthday party, I got new earrings. I had a new ring. I wonder what dime store kids bought that in. Well, there's that spoon holder. I still got it. I didn't realize it was that old. That's coming 40 years old. I think I still wear that. Oh man, had a lot of help. Can't you see all the spit going on my cake? Mother and Dad had so much fun. I think we're just out in the yard here at our house. Good girls. Here they come again. Pushed by Father. Are they twins? Turn on the light. Here's our little twins taking their first steps. This was just, I think, a little ahead of their first birthday. They must have been about 11 months old. I always said I never could see how anybody could have triplets. If you did, you'd have to hire somebody, because if you have twins, you have a hand apiece for each kid. If you had triplets, one would get away from you. These two girls always had 3 older kids, brothers and a sister to help them. We kept them in prison most of the time. They were very good. There they are. They're finally got the gist of it. And did they take off? Babies, babies. So many brothers and sisters to interfere. They really think they're cute. They think each other's funny. Okay, now Julie's putting on a new outfit. Little red hooding rides. Okay, here's their birthday cakes. They each had a heart. We just put the cake right in front of them and let them do what they wanted to with. Janie's on your right in the red jumper, and Joni's in the yellow. Well, Janie likes to taste it. She just put her face right down in it. Joni likes the feel of it. Oh, yummy. But Janie's just snarfing up, and of course there's some little thieves that come through there once in a while. Oh, who's eating my cake? Arf. Still feels good. Still 1958. The twins are still learning to walk. There's Aunt Ernie. I have a feeling that the kids made some hats for the twins out of paper pie plates. And they just thought they were sort of a nuisance. They're crying out loud. Keep those darn paper plates off my head. Uncle Jerry and Erlene. There's Mom in her short hair. Oh, we must have had some food. John's got his arm around his aunt. Here's Joe Dad. Okay, this is Joel's 10th birthday party. I imagine Joel could tell you who those kids are. I suppose they're the neighbors. I can't place them. Man, he had a lot of candles. Took a lot of wind. Our basement is still unfinished, as you can see. Julie and Joel. I think that's John back there with the parka. Oh, look at the decorated pumpkins. They aren't carved. They have marshmallow eyes and stuff stuck on the outside, and they're going to go out and scare everybody, I guess. Can't get the door open. Well, here's the little dimple darlings in the bathtub. You'll notice I always had to have help. Somebody had to hold on to a kid. Looks like John and Julie are hanging on to them while I tried to wash them. Mm-hmm. 1958. Here's our 3 big kids. And there's the 2 little ones. Jay wasn't on the scene yet. We were still having the stocking routine. Can't really tell if there's a treasure hunt yet. Everybody's getting in the act. It must be our Christmas tree was upstairs in the living room. Now this is Julie's birthday party. There's the Plasha kids. Anne, Mary, and there's the Jennikees. Well, that's a little Plasha. Jeannie, I guess. That looked like Jay Lynn's. Joel. There's Dorothy Plasha. Oh boy, skipping the light and fantastic. Georgia Jennike. I'll be darned. Georgia Jennike. Oh man, my hair was short that time too. We have 2 birthday cakes. We haven't figured out who the other one was. Unless it's in front of Jeannie Jennike. Time out. Well, that must have been a Christmas present. Haven't figured out how we got that birthday inserted between the Christmas scene. Oh, ring around the rosy. All fall down. They look like happy kids. As long as it's Christmas Day. Well, Julie, if that's a Barbie doll, hope you hung on to it. That's a girl. Get all spruced up. And Joel got a game, I think it's a Scrabble game that we still have. Uh-oh, girls, get off the table. This must be up in our living room.
Well, about the end, if you want to say anything. That's the end.
Okay, cuties, little cuties. Here's another parade. We're backing up again. This is in 1957 for some reason. There's Julie with her bunny costume on. Joel was a clown. And you'll see pictures of John in his snazzy blue automobile. That's Joel. That was easy for him to play that part. Wasn't this on the 4th of July when they'd have this? Yeah. They'd line up along Coon Rapids Boulevard, which was Old 10. There's Julie, number 31. There's John. Whoop. Joel ran into him. That turned out to be a bad day for John. I don't remember why. I guess we never did know why, but he got temperamental, didn't want to do anything. I have a feeling that he would have rather, after he got all decked out with his car, that maybe he wanted to be a clown too, but you never could find out. There's Julie. There's John. You just got a glimpse. There's number 30, and I think Julie's 31, and Johnny was 32. Oh, I cannot believe we got that on record. Well, there you are, twins. You were at the parade, too. Hars. See, this was still July, August, September. 3 months. I was only 6 months pregnant there. We're not sure where the heck these kids are riding horses unless it's out at Ding's Ranch, maybe. The old Ding's Ranch down off East River Road.
That must have been Ding's Ranch. With the swimming pool, I have no idea.
Yeah. Now here's a swimming pool scene, and we'd be darned if we know where this is. One thing, there's Bambi. She was there, but it's not in Woonsocket because we don't have a man-made pool like that. They have a lake in Woonsocket. Where the heck that is, we don't know. There's Father Don. What does this say?
I don't know. This is
Oh.
Julie had glasses on and
Looks like we got a rhythm band.
I don't know.
What? Oh, that's our house.
Yeah. Our house was built there.
Yes.
Wind coming home. Are you talking? We're recording it.
We're recording it.
Well,
Well, here's the twins coming home from the hospital,
there was our house being built.
and ahead of that was the house being built. More scenes from that. Didn't have to have car seats in those days. There's proud Dad. Mother was there too. I think this is when we got to the house. Mother was here at the house. We were living in that rented house down on 93rd Avenue. 94th, 93rd, whatever. There's corner of our house. That must be the big picture window in the rec room. No, or the, I don't know. Rec room, yeah. Must be a door. 59. Whoop. You're going to pull down the pictures. No. How did we keep up with those two little jiggers? Here comes Julie with John's birthday cake. What there looks like, there's about 8 candles. Joel's about the only one I recognize. Hi, Don. Here they are in prison again. This is outdoors, and the only way the rest of us could have peace, have a nice picnic, was put them in prison. Maybe that's at that Red Wing trip.
I think that was the Red Wing trip down to something that looked like there's snow, and that Joel didn't have any, and they got winter clothes on, and he didn't have anything.
We had an old green station wagon. Did we buy that new?
No, we bought that secondhand from...
Bought it secondhand from Goble in Anoka. We made a little chicken wire square pen.
I think we paid $1,900 for it, as I remember.
$1,900? And that's where you made that pen in the middle section for the twins. Just like a small playpen. Here's our beautiful oaks, which are no longer. That's Jan Wolf. She and her folks came, and I think that's Bill. Bill Wolf. I'll be dang, I'd forgotten that. Must be Joel's age. And that must be Mary.
Well, that's Jan.
Well, that's Jan again. Uh-huh.
We don't have anything of
Nothing
Mary
of
now.
Mary and John.
For some reason. Now we're up to Easter.
All right, this is Easter. Everybody's all decked out, ready to go to church. Or there's Grandpa Ernie, and there's Mother. Who was that? Was that me?
That's you, yeah.
There's my dad. Mother's trying to take a picture of the gang. Well, there's another woman there. Is that me? Mother and I.
Your mother.
I guess. There's those little blue dresses. I've seen Jolie wear hers. Ring around the rosy.
Potter gets
Short attention span. All right, now we got a big circle here. Oh, yeah, I remember that dress. This must not be Easter. John's waving the flag. It must be the 4th of July. Irene Smiley used to say she'd get the biggest kick looking across the road and see these two little twins looking at a bug in the grass, and their two little butts sticking up in the air, and that's, you see that right there. I don't know what they're looking for. Easter eggs? Must be a little wind. Yep, John's flag is blowing. Here's dear old Dad. Uh-oh. Don't go on the road. Somebody will be after you. There goes Father and Julie. Here's our Cub Scout. You can tell the front of our house hadn't gotten its stone facing put on by Kim and his company. There's our family. Must be summertime.
Julie was holding her nose up them dirty diapers.
Don thinks Julie was holding her nose. Must be dirty diapers. Well, here we are at a church picnic. We think it was at Lake George. Because later they get to swim.
That's Bill Holmquist.
That's Bill Holmquist? I guess it is.
That was Bill Holmquist.
He had his little chow.
I don't know who that is.
There's the girls by the lake. There the twins are with Swanees. We're in Jackson, Minnesota now. There's Rude's daughter. There's Carol and their other daughter. And they have a son, Bruce. Carolyn, Sylvia, and Bruce. And that's at their house in Jackson, Minnesota. Carol was a roommate of mine in college at Dakota Wesleyan. Looks like John has never ridden a bike before. And now Julie's got it. Now John's got it. Now Julie's got it. Well, the twins did get a wagon ride. Now Joel's riding it. Now we're back out at Draper. This is at Grandpa Ernie's farm. I think dear old Dad is helping Johnny drive. Now Julie's driving. Joel is balancing on the moon or something. He had to make a good dancer. Lights. Here we are in still 1959. We're out in Draper. This is out on Ernie's farm. Our kids were having a lot of fun driving the tractor. There's Joel. He must be about 11 years old there.
doing it all by himself. There's a couple more. Now I think they're climbing up in the Badlands. This picture is pretty light. Okay, where are we here? That's still in the Badlands?
In the Badlands.
Can't read that sign. Looks like Father Don. Okay, if you've ever gone to Rapid City, those dinosaurs are up on the hill, and kids can climb all over them. And there's 2, 3 varieties. I remember these. Don't remember the big long one, but I do remember these short ones.
I think they were very new.
Yeah, Don thinks that they had just been put up there. Now you can see Mount Rushmore in the background. That's pretty sharp pictures. $38 years ago. Yeah, that's Jim Gadsden, Don's cousin in Spearfish. We're in Spearfish now. We had that old green station wagon with luggage on top.